So, as you know, Henry Cavill actually is not The Witcher anymore from season 4 onwards, but we're going to have a whole season with Henry Cavill. Season 3 of The Witcher is going to be out on Netflix, and we're going to watch him and say goodbye to Henry Cavill as The Witcher. But he is back as Superman. I think this is old news, like it's been 3 days and everybody knows about it. However, there is a video. It's time to stop defending Netflix Witcher. And I'm really excited to check this one out. I saw Tyrone Magnus reacting to this. I was like, interesting. I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to watch it with my community and see what's going on.
So, over the weekend, some Netflix Witcher news that shook the world to its very core was released. Henry Cavill, the show's leading actor, is leaving the role of Geralt after the already filmed Season 3 and will be replaced moving forward by Liam Hemsworth, who of course is most well known for his cameo in Season 1, Episode 3 of the 2015 Muppet series. However, the replacement for Henry is really just a footnote to this story right now, which I think says a lot about the real reaction most fans are having to all of this. Henry announced his departure over on Instagram and ended his post with a line I think is important. He said, "I pass the torch with reverence for the time spent embodying Geralt, and with enthusiasm to see Liam's take on this most fascinating and nuanced of men." The key word there is nuance, a core element of Geralt's character and the world of The Witcher, and unfortunately a concept the Netflix show is totally unfamiliar with. While no official reason has been publicly given for his departure, it is known that Henry made this decision because he felt like it was time to move on.
It's time to move on after 3 seasons on the show, which films overseas and has a demanding production schedule.
And more importantly, anyone that's even been sort of paying attention can piece together why this happened, and honestly, it's sad for more reasons than one. Going into the very first season, before the script had even been written, Henry Cavill campaigned for this role because of his love for the series and this character. When watching interviews and press for the show over the past few years, Henry's genuine enthusiasm for the source material has always been clear as day. And equally—
Okay, this is the thing. His enthusiasm about the source material. He played the games, he probably read the books, he knows the lore, and he wanted to depict it in the series. However,
obvious have been his frustrations with the writing of the show he's been starring in for the past 3 years. He's always kept it professional, of course, but he can only do so much. And it was not even a year ago where Henry very publicly said that he is committed to doing the planned 7 seasons of the Netflix Witcher on one condition. That condition being that the writers can manage to tell great stories while honoring the source material this show is apparently meant to be based on. Now, when this news dropped on Saturday, the reaction I saw almost everywhere was total shock, with much of that shock coming from devastated fans. If I'm being honest, my reaction was kind of the opposite. I was not particularly surprised. There were rumors of this over a year ago that people kind of ignored because they didn't like it. And after Season 2, I really struggled to see Henry sticking around for the long haul. And when I saw the headline this Saturday, my first thought—
unfortunately, the best part about— I say unfortunately, but at the same time, it's a good thing. But the best part about the Witcher series was Henry Cavill and his depiction of the Witcher. Take him out of that is— I don't know what to tell you guys. It's not a good series. It's fine, mediocre, but it's nothing compared to, for example, Game of Thrones.
His decision was good for you. There was also the news that many of you
and
have
also him in a
already
bath.
heard.
Oh, yeah.
Henry will be stepping back into the role of Superman in a major way in the future.
Cool
but
news too.
Don't kid yourself, he wouldn't have left a role he campaigned so hard for if this show weren't the fantasy equivalent of Dexter Season 8. It's not hard to put the pieces together of what really happened here when you compare the absolute travesty that was Season 2 with the genuine reverence Henry has for the books. Despite the strawman arguments I see all the time, Netflix Witcher has never ever been a situation where you have an on-screen adaptation of a book series that changes some necessary things when moving from the page to screen. No, this has always been, from day one but especially with Season 2, a situation where you have a great core story with nuanced characters and a room of writers who think they can do better. It was just a couple of weeks ago when a former writer from the Netflix Witcher team said in an interview that some of the writers' room, I would guess most, actively disliked the books and would take to mocking them constantly.
This is, that's a big no-no. I would not want to work with people who do that too. Actively mocking the source material of something that you are so passionate about is like literally shitting on you and what you love and like. Why would you put your heart and soul into something when other people are not appreciating it? Why would you depict it as something you are proud of when others are not proud of and they have their names behind it? And that, I think, is the sole reason why he decided to move on and go with Superman again. I mean, He probably got so many requests to be Superman again before even starting with filming The Witcher, but he decided to move on because that's how he felt like, and he definitely tried with The Witcher. Because you saw at the start, he said he want to go with the 7 seasons. But then this happened, and that happened last year. And then he was like, no, we're moving on. And he probably didn't like, you see, like somebody said, I hope season 3 will be good. You know what? I hope season 3 will be bad. I actually genuinely do hope that the season is going to be bad. The series is going to be bad because I don't want it to be good and then have to say goodbye to something that is good. You know, I want it to be bad and I want to finish with it and I'll be like, okay, fine. That was bad. I'm not sad that it's finished or whatever. You know, it's not going to be finished, but for Henry it is.
That shouldn't come as a surprise considering what season 2 was, but I find it sort of embarrassing when you look at the final product. I always get the impression that a lot of people that aren't familiar with the books think it's an exaggeration when it's said that season 2 was not really even an adaptation, but that is just the truth. Objectively speaking,
now
no
I
opinion
feel like
here.
reading the
Apart
books.
from character and location names, 90+% of the second season had absolutely nothing to do with the book it was marketed as adapting. And the real crime there, and this part is an opinion of course, is that absolutely everything they replaced was done so with something drastically worse. In no way did they make any improvements to what they thought they could do better than. Bringing that concept back around to Henry, I just can't imagine having that real strong desire and sense of responsibility to tell these stories the way they deserve to be told, and then having to show up on set every day watching these beloved characters get butchered. It's just such a shame because with proper writing, Henry as Geralt could have been a casting for the ages, meaning something that could be looked back upon for years and years. Yeah. It was pretty perfect, especially when you consider the passion involved on his end.
True,
and
he did such an amazing, he's such a perfect Witcher. I don't know why they keep doing that with movies, adaptations of books or book adaptations movies. I mean, they already have it all, guys. Like they have the whole story, they have the characters, the description, the place. They have it all. And if it's good the way it is, just depicted in a movie exactly the way it is. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a copy paste. But it's not a copy-paste of a remake of a series that came out 10 years ago or of a movie or something. It's from a book. Some people don't read books, all right? Some people don't enjoy books or some people don't like books. I don't know if there are people who exist who don't like books, but they will not know that it's a copy-paste of the same story. But don't think that you can do better than the person who wrote the book and the original material. Don't think that you can do... Why do they keep changing? Like, oh, I have my own vision. I don't freaking care about your own vision. Show me what is there, what is out, what people love and admire and like already. If you're slapping the name of that thing, of that book, then do it right.
For me, watching Henry give the role his all in service of writing that
do
makes
your own
Peppa
thing
Pig
somewhere else, in an amateur theater or something.
I hate to be so blunt because I don't like being negative. There's a reason that for season 2 I made one short review, and that was that. No follow-ups because I had no desire to put any more energy into something I did not enjoy. That said, it is so frustrating as a Witcher fan to watch this show chew up and spit out one of the only good things about it.
I just wish adaptations were literally copy-paste of something.
Season 2 had already taken the show to a point I felt was beyond saving without some sort of miracle in the writer's room. It completely destroyed several core relationships that are foundational to the rest of the story. And that's why I'm not acting like the show is only now in trouble because of his departure. The writing is and always has been the problem, and Henry Cavill there as Geralt or not, no actor is going to be able to overcome what the cast of The Witcher have been working with. I have seen absolutely no hate towards Cavill for his choice, which in my opinion is the proper stance. Yes, he's the one that left the show, but his hand was forced. He's a very in-demand actor. Why would he want to commit another half-decade of his career to this? That's not even to mention that I wouldn't at all be surprised if Netflix didn't want to pay what he's worth to the show, because contracts were up for renegotiations for season 4. I will say, you gotta wonder what
they would
this
pay him. They would.
About the
they have money.
Season with Henry,
it's
which
not
is
about money
3.
for him.
Is it just more of the same? Because if so, that's already enough to totally understand.
I think Netflix would even pay him more than DC would.
I'm honestly gonna be somewhat impressed in a sort of cynical way. This Witcher show should have been the next Game of Thrones, a real cultural fantasy phenomenon. But now us fans, at least the ones that don't particularly like the show, are just stuck waiting for the next attempt. Barring a divine miracle in the writer's room the likes of which have never been seen, then better luck next time, I guess. Well, that is it for today. Thank you, by the way, for 50,000 subscribers. The
Yay,
channel
let's
turned a
go.
year old this month, and we also hit 50K last week, which is pretty cool. If you
That's
enjoyed the video,
amazing.
consider
That's
leaving a
good.
like as it helps to get my content out there.
Good
Thanks
amount
for
of
watching.
subs.
Let me know what you make of all of this, and I will see you in the next one.
Oh yeah, of course. Like the thing about Henry, he's not an Oscar-worthy actor in my opinion. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor, but he's not. I would say he's not on the same level as. Okay, I'm not gonna name names, but still, I think the best part about Henry Cavill is his adaptations, the way he characterizes someone, and of course, his dedication to the hard work put into it. The way he looks is a big factor of Henry Cavill. Like, if he didn't look the way he looked and he didn't have that personality and the character, we would not like Henry Cavill, he wouldn't be in demand as much. But he looks awesome. He works really hard. He dedicates really a lot of time into the profession that he's going with. And his personality is such an amazing personality. And then he's a gamer, you guys. Like, come on. We all gamers love Henry Cavill because he's one of us, but the better version. The version we wish we were, like that's the thing. He's such an amazing guy. Okay, I'm gonna stop. It's just when you mention a gamer and looking like Henry Cavill, I'm done. I am done.